Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while, but here I am with a new video, and today we are going to talk about how to stay motivated for your webcomic. So before I start, I just want to wish everyone happy quarantine. Although I feel like some of you guys are probably miserable as shit at home. But for me, it has been an experience. Working from home is such a good feeling because that means I have more time to create my own stuff while working for my company at the same time. Also, I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. We are so close to 100 subscribers. In my YouTube analytics, it says that about 96% of you watching are not subscribed to my channel. So if you like what I do, feel free to give a subscribe and maybe give a like as well. And yeah, let's get on with the video. Recently, I got out of a burnout from roommates, and from that experience, I want to share with you guys how I got out of it. The first thing I would suggest is to maybe try something new. For example, I recently started a new comic called Dear Alice. It's basically about pen pal friends writing to each other about their daily lives, and yes, it is very inspired by Alice in Wonderland, but of course I am having my own take on it, where it's not much of like perspectives and backgrounds, and it's more to just like focusing on storytelling in like comic in like a few panels. Cause the thing about roommates is the more episodes that I work on, the more I want the production to get better, you know. The more complicated it got, the more overwhelming it also got for me. Making Dear Alice black and white also helped a lot because I would usually struggle a lot on coloring in roommates as well, so it was basically a breath of fresh air for me. And knowing that I have Dear Alice as a comic that I can fall back on, I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed by roommates thinking that it's the only comic that I have. Of course, I'm not saying everyone should make a new comic just because they feel burnt out from their old comic. Just try something new, you know, like listening to new music, getting into a new hobby, a new lifestyle, just anything that will take your mind off from the burnout. Next, I would say take a break. Not a break so long where you forgot that you actually had a comic in the first place. I honestly don't recommend going on a hiatus because like I would say maybe 7 out of 10 times people who go on hiatus don't actually come back. The shorter the break, the better it is. Like even for me, when I took a break, I didn't make a complete full stop on the comic. I would work on it bit by bit every day. When I have like extra time from work, I would just draw a few lines, maybe add a few strokes, add a few colors, you know. Honestly, bit by bit every day, it goes a long way. In the end, you would just be like so surprised that you actually finished it bit by bit. Moving on, the next thing I would suggest is to revisit your old episodes or chapters. One fine morning, I just took the time out of my day to just go through all the episodes of Roommates, and surprisingly, I find myself laughing and like having a lot of fun just reading it. In a way, it made me fall in love with Roommates again. Of course, while reading my comic, I also read the comments. But I would just say do this with caution because I guess not all comments are going to lift your spirits up. For the days when you feel neutral and fine, maybe you can take the time out of your day to separate your comments. Like, I learned this from How to Steal Like an Artist right here, and basically they say it's good to like keep a folder of like all the positive comments that you have received from your comics, because sometimes when you read through like all the positive impacts that you have made for your readers, it feels really uplifting. But definitely during your vulnerable days, I would suggest not to go through the comments just because some of them that may come off more critical or more mean might really throw you off. Moving on, I actually find that talking about it really helps the burnout. Just because burnout is such a common thing that all artists face. If you talk about it, feeling the relatability with other artists, you will feel better, and sometimes they might even give you good suggestions of how you can get out of this burnout. By the way, if you guys have any stories of burnouts you want to share or any suggestions of how we can deal with burnouts, feel free to leave them down in the comments. My final point would be to just be aware of the burnout and also your emotions. For me, it took me a while to accept that I was in a state of burnout, and also how much this burnout has caused me depression. The earlier you can start recognizing and accepting that you are in a state of burnout, the earlier you can combat the burnout. Thankfully, of course, my readers have also been very supportive and always telling me that it's okay to take a break. In conclusion, I would say you are not alone. Everyone has experienced burnout, everyone has got stuck in burnout, but also please value your mental health more than your comic. So yeah, I guess this is about it for this video. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe, give it a like, and turn on the notification bell. Check out my comics Dear Alice and Roommates. They are all available on webtoons and tapas. Also, Dear Alice is available on my Facebook page and my Instagram. Feel free to support me if you can on Patreon or Ko-fi. Until then, I shall see you in the next video. See ya!